Correspondent Peter Doocy live on the North Lawn. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. It has now been 6 days since President Biden said anything about what's going on at the border. Members of his administration have been down there gathering facts, but officials here have been trying to keep the president's official events more focused on COVID-19.
I learned from running the Recovery Act, you got to be hands-on.
That was during a visit to a VA facility giving COVID shots. No plans right now for a visit to the southern border.
A trip with the president, as many of you know, includes Air Force One, includes an extensive security, includes all of you, of course.
A small White House delegation just got back from a tour of Border Patrol and HHS facilities for migrants, and the first big takeaway from someone who was there.
We inherited a broken system.
But despite a pledge last week to fix a broken system quickly,
the urgency of it cannot be overstated.
Nobody has filled in President Biden about the border trip yet.
We do plan to brief the president this week on it. We have not done so yet.
But officials did bring back firsthand testimonials.
We did speak to many of the folks involved, including children.
The administration recently defended reopening an HHS facility for migrant children, arguing more space was needed for social distancing. But now that's changed, and quote, based on CDC guidance, Office of Refugee Resettlement has notified facilities they may temporarily reactivate capacity within their full licensed capability up to safe occupancy levels.
CDC also put out some guidelines. Many of you may have seen, I believe it was on Thursday or Friday, that will allow for increased capacity at some of these sites.
The president made remarks about International Women's Day.
We need little girls and boys, both, who have grown up dreaming of serving for their country to know this is what generals in the United States Armed Forces look like. This is what vice presidents of the United States look like.
But still, no formal solo press conference.
He has done about 40 Q&As since he took office.
Most of those are really short.
As soon as I get it.
And that may be the kind of access the White House has in mind after a solo presser they promise will happen this month.
I don't know that you'll see him more than 40 times a month, but I'm happy to ask him that question.
And somebody else tried again tonight to ask him a question about the Senate filibuster and whether or not that is going to affect a voting rights package in the upper chamber. And the president answered that he would talk about that later. Brett.
Well, you've been the most successful getting the news out of those short questions. So, Peter, thank you.